Hello and welcome to an album a day, day 209, going through my vinyl collection, an album or so at a time. Today we're going back to 1989, back to the well of private music artists, and my favorite, of course, Patrick O'Hearn. This is the 89 album, Eldorado. I love the southwestern art here, looks really good. I like the border. Very colorful, well done font. It's a little bit hard to see, but they did slight yellowing inside of black lettering, but in and of itself with that background, it's kind of hard to put anything over that background and make it clearly legible, as we'll see a little bit more in a moment. But big, bold Patrick O'Hearn, tall but thin Eldorado, and then nice southwestern art picture. I probably wouldn't recognize that had I not lived in Arizona for so long, what that style is. The character is almost a little bit Coco Pelli too, which is interesting. I don't know when Coco Pelli was designed, but this is very common type art that I saw a lot of when I lived in Phoenix. Also, get some weird, they almost look like letters or hieroglyphics, but they're not. They're really just kind of dashes around the edges. So that's kind of strange. The album, of course, on the private music label has that classic private music logo. Gotta love that. It just makes me smile every time I see that, because I know I'm going to be listening to music I'm probably going to enjoy, something that's going to be quality, something that's going to be different from most of the mainstream stuff that you hear, unless you're talking about film soundtracks, which some of it can be similar to film soundtracks, even if it's not familiar to my mouth. But on the back, it gets a little bit confusing. It's kind of hard to read. The font is really small against a background that has designer colors behind it, so it's very difficult to read. Unfortunate design as far as that goes. If you're going to do something like this, put in a block, make the text readable. Otherwise, what's the point of having text if you can't read it? Not thought through very well, unfortunately. But let's see, yeah, pretty much just the typical private music sleeve. No big deal there. No lyric sheet, of course, because it's all instrumental. But of course, the music, guys, is most important. If I can try to read through these, let's see what we have here. We have, now I've only listened to this once, so unless the songs were on a compilation that I have, I don't know all the music very well just yet. Really want to find some more time to be able to just listen and enjoy music. Probably not until I get through the rest of Smoke on the podcast and I take my break and probably start listening to more music then. But also I move around a lot and I can't find a good transmitter that works with my wireless earbuds. So I have the Skull Candy Jib Plus wireless earbuds. These are wonderful. They pair beautifully with my iPhone. But Skull Candy's customer service has been crap. It was great at first, but they can't even recommend products that go with their own products. Every time I look on Amazon, they have the compatibility chart, and anytime I put these earbuds in, it always comes up unknown. And then I put any other kind of headphones or earbuds in, and they always come up unknown. So those comparison charts have not been very helpful either. So anyway, I can't find anything to pair my stereo to anything wireless, so I have to be tethered to it to be able to listen to any music. And I live in an apartment, so I can't have the volume too loud. It's very frustrating. Anyway, once I buy a house, all those problems will be over. I'll just blast my fucking stereo. Anyway, so we get to our next song. Let's see, what do we have here? Nepalese Tango, Black Delilah. That is one of my absolute favorite songs. In fact, I've got a couple, do I have them yet or not? I can't remember, but there's a couple of 12-inch singles that were released, and I think it was a remix version of it too. Then we get into something in Spanish I can't pronounce, and then we get to The Illusionist, which is another one of my favorites. This is off of the Best Of compilation, which was the first full album that I got from Patrick O'Hearn. Well, not full album, but it was the first solo disc that I bought from Patrick O'Hearn. Not on vinyl, but all the songs are in other iterations on vinyl, but that particular collection is not. Then we get to side B. We get One-Eyed Jackal. We get Hear Our Prayer. We get Delicate, which is a great name. Eldorado, the title track. And then there's Always Tomorrow, another great name. Naming New Age songs is really interesting because it's all about really no concept. I mean, you could have something in mind when you're writing it, or you can have visualizations or some direction that you're heading in. But as far as the audience is concerned, there's no connection to anything. It's whatever they get out of it. So having a title, you're kind of directing maybe a particular image, like Eldorado. I think of a Cadillac Eldorado. So I don't know if that has another meaning. I don't know if he's thinking of something else, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. So now when I hear that song, I'm going to be picturing a Cadillac Eldorado, whether that has any relevance to the song or not. And that's the challenge with New Age music. It's kind of like having to represent music with a graphic. Anything that you do, you're potentially steering the listener into something specific when you really don't want to do that. You want to let them have their own experience. Whatever it means to them is what it means to them. So my Romance for Piano album, which I think originally it was 9, and then when I did the remastered version, I wrote another one to make 10 for the album. Yeah, that sounds right. I wanted them to be very simple. Piano Romance number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and so on. And when I tried to release it that way, the distributor would not allow it because they said the titles were too similar. They said they needed opus numbers. Well, you have numbers. They're numbered 1 through 10. But they wouldn't take it. And so I ended up just doing self-distribution on that one. That was only on my Bandcamp page. And then when I did, actually, I think I only released it on CD originally. And then when I went to do the remasters, when I had that problem. And I'm like, what is the difference? If you have Piano Romance number 1, Opus 1, Piano Romance number 2, Opus 2, what is the difference? But I didn't want to title it. I didn't want it to be Flowers on the Kitchen Table. I didn't want it to be Box of Chocolates or anything like that. I didn't want to paint any kind of picture, which is why the titles were specifically so vague. So when you come to New Age music, you get a song like The Illusionist, and already you're thinking, all right, am I being directed one way in audio where there's really something else going on that's going to come up later that's being in the field of audio view, but also being kind of masked at the same time? Like, you wonder a lot of things about songs. You start reading things into it based on title, based on, if you've got a single, you have to have some kind of image to promote the single. So is that image leading the listener in a certain way? It's a really challenging thing when it comes to promotion and writing instrumental music, or even just song titling. It's one thing I struggle with all the time. So anyway, it's interesting to get into, but that is another one from my Patrick O'Hearn collection, and another day of an album a day. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's Wednesday, middle of the week, so hopefully your week is going well and you can cruise through the rest of it into some weekend fun. And maybe you guys do something fun after work too, which is always nice. And of course, I know so many people that do not work standard banker's hours, but anyway, hope you guys all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.